Hey everyone, today's topic of the day and word of the day is conflict. Not a war or anything like that, but conflict within people's mindsets. We kind of know what's expected of us with regards to moving in the outside world while we go through this virus scenario. It's Wednesday today, it's the day that the restrictions have been reduced. There's kind of this feeling that people can go out and do what they want. There's an awful lot of motorcycle riders that are looking at the guidelines and picking out the bits that suit them. And I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. I'm not sure if we should be looking at guidelines and making them suit our own ideas. I'm not sure whether we should be looking at guidelines and deciding what's best for us by ignoring some of them, but only abiding by others. I'll put up on the screen here a little bit of a cutout that I took from Motorcycle News Online, which, I'll be honest, is a group of journalists I have a lot of time for, because they're passionate about what they write about. Now, what they've done, rightly or wrongly, is actually looked at the guidelines, looked at we are now allowed to go out, we're allowed to drive wherever we like, but then ignoring the fact that we can drive wherever we like so that we can do exercise. Now, if I see a whole load of bikers ride past me wearing speedos or vest tops and shorts and trainers, then granted, I'll give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that they are going to do exercise. But in reality, we all know that's not the case. What they're doing is they're using the guideline that suits them to make the most of a situation that, let's be honest, sucks balls. So I'm interested to think or to hear what your theories are. Do you think we should be looking for loopholes within the guidelines so it suits us? Or do you think, do you know what, let's actually knuckle down, get this fixed, get this sorted, and get back to a normal way of life where we don't have to have that situation? Now, you may well have the opinion, and you'd be well within your rights to, that it's okay for me to say this. It's okay for me to ask this question, because I'm out on my bike, I'm enjoying myself. I'm not going to argue with you. I do get 15-20 minutes a day where I can ride my bike on my way to and from work. So absolutely, do you have that justification to ask me that question? But in reality, I'm not going through a loophole. I'm not cherry picking the information that I want to and ignore the rest. What I'm doing is commuting back and forth to work so that I can carry on with my job as instructed by my bosses. And as you can see, I'm not exactly tearing it up across the countryside. What I'm doing is commuting through town at no speed whatsoever. And the only reason I actually come this way is purely to see whether other people are listening and to gauge people's moods, because you can tell, I've noticed that the road outside my work has been much busier today. And look, it's not a bad thing, it's great that we're in that position that, you know, we've got that R level down so that the rate of transmission is reduced massively. But it's not done yet. there's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of people that can't get back to work. And it's the danger that people are rushing back too soon when they don't need to, purely because they've got an opportunity to, or an opportunity to get the bike out, an opportunity to, you know, work on getting back into normality. But I'm just interested in opinion of people. The trouble is, the only people that you're able to talk to really these days are the ones you see day in, day out, your work colleagues, your families. And you don't get a fair representation then, because you really want to be speaking to people that you don't see all the time. Get their opinions. There's also a massive point of thought or train of thought regarding people's mindsets. Mental health is a huge thing that we need to be careful that we don't allow to drop back or go backwards, to regress. You know, it's taken a long time for society to understand that mental health is a real thing. Depression is a real thing. It's not something where you say to people, oh, get a grip. You know, it's a real thing that we have to be careful we don't allow to become a serious problem, because that can be more expensive to an economy and more damaging to the National Health Service, which is the best health service in the world, and it's manned by people from around the world. But mental health could be so much more damaging than anything if we don't take care and avoid a much worse situation in the near future. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I'm just going to go around it. So yeah, the mindset of mental health problems. So does getting out on a motorbike, does getting out in a car with a family, does going for a walk in a park, does having a cycle ride, does meeting one friend with a 2-meter gap between you just for a chat somewhere, does that help your mental health? Well, I mean, I'm not so much of an idiot to think, yeah, of course it does. Getting out, there's nothing more damaging to someone's mental health than being stuck in the same place for a long period of time. Let's be fair, with the exception of the fact that most places now, or most houses now, have your Netflix, your Wi-Fi, your internet, books, radio, normal TV, Sky TV. Keeping people isolated was used as a punishment. Not so long back, just celebrated VE Day. Isolation was used as a form of punishment. It's damaging, it's hurtful. You know, you still have isolation in prisons these days. Now, I know that it's nowhere near the same scenario, but it's still definitely something that we need to bear in mind. So going back to the original point, Twitter today was full of comments, who's going out tonight, who's going for a ride tonight, and there's a massive difference of opinion. Some people can't wait to get out on the bike. They're going to go and tear up the tarmac tonight, and fingers crossed they have a great time, get back safe, and everyone's happy. The NHS doesn't have a problem, and we're all good, and we can all ride again tomorrow. And then there's some that are saying, do you know what, I'm just going to see how it pans out. I might wait till the weekend. Let all the crazy idiots in cars and bikes get out tonight on the first night, get their aggression and their adrenaline out of the way. By the weekend it'll calm down and I'll go then. And then there's some that just say, no, it's not right, I'm not ready to go out, the country's not ready for the amount of movement to hit the streets in one go. I'll wait until we've got a bit more control on this thing before I get out there. So much as most YouTube channels will say, you know, leave a comment below, and it's more often than not to know that people are watching, listening, whether they appreciate, asking what you could do better. I'd like you to leave a comment below and just tell me what you're doing, what your thoughts are. Are you going out? Have you been out before you watch this video? If you went out, what were the roads like? What were other road users like? If you haven't been out yet, the big thing I'm going to say is just try and be safe. You know, take your time. If you haven't ridden for what could be 2 months now, the old saying, you never forget how to ride a bike. I get that, you never forget how to ride a bike, but reactions will not be the same. You know, it's just a case now that we need to be sensible. We don't need to stop doing stuff. We don't need to lock ourselves in after we've been told we can go out. Just need to be sensible. And there's one thing that you can count on people for when the chips are down, is that common sense is actually the best thing that the human race has got about it. That thought process where you have two sides of the brain, one's telling you to do something, one's telling you not to do something, and it's that common sense part that kicks in and makes the decision for you. A little bit of fun just to finish this vlog off after it's been quite surreal and quite serious. We're going to go up Monk's Hill, which is a really steep hill, so see how we get on, shall we? Oh, he's not doing so well. So guys, I'm just going to call the vlog in a few moments, and I'd just like to ask one very simple thing. Keep safe, keep sensible, and think. Because this will be over, the roads will clear up, the weather will still be there at some point, but don't rush. And if you appreciate anything that I've said today, please leave a like. If you think I'm a dick, please leave a dislike, but tell me why you're leaving a dislike. Criticism is just as important as anything else, as long as it's constructive. And if you think this channel isn't total shite, give us a subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Look at that view. Those hills in the distance are the Mendips, and that's where most bikers in this region will be heading for, including myself, when the time's right. But take care guys, and I'll catch you later.